Hi there everybody and welcome back sa ating Philippine pop culture class. Now in this video, mapapanood nyo ang ating interview with Miss Chrissy Murillo. Siya ay isang TikTok content creator at isang beauty pageant enthusiast. And in this interview, mapapag-usapan natin kung bakit nga ba obsessed ang mga Filipinos pagdating sa beauty pageants. Pag-uusapan natin dito ang experiences ni Miss Chrissy Murillo bilang isang transgender woman content creator sa iba't ibang social media apps like Facebook, YouTube, and of course, TikTok. Pero before we watch the video, let me first thank Miss Chrissy Murillo once again for accepting our invitation at sa pagpayag na mai-record ang ating conversation at i-upload sa YouTube for the benefit of my other Philippine pop culture classes. Miss Chrissy, maraming salamat po. And just a reminder para sa mga UST students ko, you need to watch the entire video kasi at the end of it, meron ako mga tanong na kailangan nyong sagutin. And your answers, kailangan nyong i-input sa ating discussion board sa ating UST portal. At this point, let us now start watching the video. And I'm now recording our session. And once again, our guest for today is Miss Chrissy Murillo. Miss Chrissy, magsimula na po tayo. Actually, Miss Chrissy, our session for today will be divided into two sections. Number one, on pageants, and number two, on social media platforms. Now, weeks ago, we were able to discuss the topic of pageants in the Philippines because I think we all know that the Philippines is one pageant crazy nation. Pero syempre, since hindi po ako nagpa-pageant at hindi po ako ganun kamaalam sa mga pageants, I decided to invite you to shed light on that as well. Now, ang tanong ko, Ms. Chrissy, since you mentioned that you joined pageants, particularly in the year 2017, anong nag-motivate sa'yo para sumali sa mga pageants? And totoo ba na 2017 ka na nagsimulang sumali? So before that, you never joined any?
Yeah, as you know, so a brief background there, Edward. I started transition late. I started transitioning when I was 46. So that was in 2016. Mm-hmm. So I was 46 years old already. So when you asked me about, I started in 2017. That was the year I started joining pageants. And the reason for this is it was a childhood dream. Mm-hmm. And I was not in the capacity to join pageants before transitioning because like ano naman ang itsura ko noon, diba? So people begin to notice me, my friends, when my transition medications worked, they began to notice me because I was starting to bloom. And when someone encouraged me to join the pageant, I took the opportunity because I really wanted to do it, and I want to fulfill the childhood dream of mine to be able to become a beauty queen. So that started it all. I was competing in a regular pageant. I competed with regular girls, which means that they were actually like half my age.
Miss Chrissy, when we say regular girls, what do we actually mean by that?
I mean that like the regular girls in trans pageantry would be between the ages of 18 to 24. Mm-hmm. So that's what I mean. So mm-hmm. I was actually 47 years old competing with them. So you know it would be doubly hard for me to win actually. Mm-hmm. But the funny thing there, Edward, it was like this was supposed to be the next discussion, but anyway, I'm going to proceed. You know, when I won over them, controversies really arise because they could not accept that, especially among the talent managers of the other contestants, because they cannot accept that someone my age can defeat their representatives. So it really sparked a controversy in Davao. I was also bashed because of that, and I instantly became popular. And you know, the funny thing there was like when I won in May 24th, there was another pageant in June 7. And that was really a slap on their faces when I won the title again. On June 7. Mm-hmm. So that wasn't just a wild streak. That really capitalized my name in the pageant scene here in Davao City. And Sir Edward, it could be like a barangay pageant, but you should understand here in Davao City, in a trans pageant, there's no such thing as a small pageant because like all of the trans women would come out and I would be competing with those who won in Super Serena, those who won in Queen Philippines. So those are the type of competitors that I compete with. So it was really very challenging.
Mhm. So would you say, Miss Chrissy, talagang yung mga bashing ang isa sa mga talagang naging challenge para sa'yo during that particular time?
It was after. It was after because it was like really very noisy in social media, especially in Facebook, because like the other contestants were also complaining, and plus tag along with their talent scout. So it really sparked a lot of controversy here, and they were questioning the judges. They were questioning the judges' credibility that they were paid and something like that. So it really was really funny.
Pero Miss Chrissy, what I really want to know, since you said that it is really your childhood dream to be a beauty queen, ano yung nagpa-motivate sa'yo when you were still very young to have this particular dream? Meron ka bang mga naaalala pa nung bata ka na
It's like
parang
this. It's like this.
nagustuhan?
Since 1980, you could just imagine this, Sir Edward. Since 1980, I have been watching Miss Universe. So that was the year where Chop Silayan won third runner-up. And then came Desiree Verdadero. And then the other, especially in the 90s, I have always been watching. 1987, People's Asses. 1988, Perfida Limpin. 1990,
Wow, memorize mo, Miss Chrissy.
I know. I was very passionate. And once I saw our beauty queens successful in the Miss Universe, I was addicted to it, watching it every year after year. So, I would always say, I can do that. I said, I would want to represent my country one day in an international beauty pageant. So that's actually every beauty contestant's or beauty queen's dream, to be able to represent the country in an international beauty pageant.
Miss Chrissy, since nakapag-pageant ka naman na in the year 2017, ano yung mga worst at yung mga best experiences mo in the pageant scene? Pwede mo bang i-share sa amin?
The best and the worst?
And the worst, yes, opo.
I think the best thing that I have experienced is, when I get off stage when I won, I think that was the most significant experience that I had. There were like 3 young girls who embraced me, and they said that they were so inspired by how beautiful I am and how intelligent I am. And they said they want to become like me one day. So that actually really inspired me more to do better, because you can be an inspiration to others. So that was one of the best experiences. And then they took pictures and memorabilia. So that was the first time I've ever experienced that. So that was actually very significant for me. And the worst, of course, was that I mentioned, but how to deal with bashers is you just don't, because as long as you have done the competition without cleanly, you don't have to be concerned about, the pageant has been done. The crown is in your head. The title is in your hands. So you don't have to worry about anything. As long
actually,
as daya or something like that.
Kasi Miss Chrissy, with my past interviews, talagang yung bashing ang talagang nagiging nilang problema with my past interviews sa klase ko. Talagang yun yung nakita nila talagang parang pinaka-challenge sa kanila. And normal talaga.
It will always be a problem, Sir Edward, because we cannot please everyone. It's just like, look at how top caliber our contestants are in the Miss Universe, like Pia Wurtzbach and Catriona Gray. Were they free from bashing? No, they weren't.
Yeah.
So you just can't please everyone. So the thing here to do, if you are a beauty queen or you're representing the country, you should focus on your goal in winning and preparing yourself for the competition itself. Because because this is the job of the organization who will bring you to the international competition. Therefore, the team should focus on the job at hand or the task at hand. So, the public can comment, but don't mind them.
And
That's
Miss
the thing that I think.
Miss Chrissy, aside from being a beauty pageant contestant, I think you're very accomplished also as a professional. So my question is, what do you think are the benefits of joining a beauty pageant na parang kahit na parang successful ka na as a professional, you still want to join pageants? Ano ba yung mga benefits yan para sa mga estudyante ko na gusto ning sumali sa mga pageants in the future?
I think I've never like superficial or plastic about anything. I would tell it's for the fame. I mean the
For
fame.
the fame, Miss Chrissy?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really for the fame. It's not everyone can join and win in a pageant. It's for special people who have the beauty, the talent, the guts, and the intelligence to achieve and accomplish such titles. So
Naku, Miss Chrissy, mahirap yung requirements mo, the beauty, the talents, and the guts.
it should all be rolled into one.
Uh,
You know, you can never be a beauty queen if you don't have these qualities.
so medyo
Because
demanding pala. Actually, hindi medyo, napaka-demanding pala ng requirements to be a beauty pageant contestant.
it's not, Sir Edward, it's not enough. There are so many beautiful women, but sometimes they think that it's not for them.
Mhm.
So they cannot even be found in entering there because it's not their thing.
Mhm.
People who wants to be a beauty queen,
Mhm.
it should come from within themselves to
Mhm.
challenge themselves and knowing that they can do it. So that's the important thing there.
Mhm. Pero Miss Chrissy, nakakapagtaka lang na talagang I think this is very distinctly Filipino. Our obsession with beauty pageants. We really love watching beauty pageants. Like sa mga barangay, bawat barangay may
Yes.
pageant, bawat
Yes.
school may pageant. Miss Chrissy, sa UST, bawat college may pageant, bawat degree program may pageant. Pero I don't think sa creative writing meron kasi isang section lang sila. Pero generally, Miss Chrissy, talagang napakaraming pageants ang nagaganap sa Pilipinas. My question is, tingin mo sa nagagaling to obsession natin sa mga pageants na to?
Well, I think it's deeply rooted within our culture, especially with the Spaniards.
Yeah. Sige, historical perspective. Sige po, Miss Chrissy, paano ba yan?
Because whenever we celebrate fiestas, kahit na sa pinaka-remote na barangay, Sir Edward, like pinaka-probinsya na probinsya, there is a fiesta. And every fiesta, we celebrate a queen.
Mhm.
There should be a queen. And we are a country of beautiful women. There are lots of beautiful women among Filipinos, being a mixed race culture. So it's just but right for us to celebrate beauty and like celebrating in a fiesta.
Mhm. So doon pala nanggaling pala talaga yung Miss Chrissy.
Yeah, dun siya.
Matagal na.
Dun siya galing sa fiesta. Every fiesta celebrates a queen. So yun. Kaya meron tayong obsession with beauty queens.
Do you think, Miss Chrissy, is it safe to say na ang mga Filipino talaga ay mahilig sa mga magaganda? Is it safe to say that? Or sa mga anything na maganda, anything that is beautiful?
Well, to tell you honestly, our standard of beauty is really westernized.
Mhm,
You know,
sure.
like for us, you know, you cannot it's very difficult for us to consider like a darker colored skinned woman to win over like someone who's more fair, you know, and you cannot blame us because it's part of how the Westerners are able to influence to define what beauty is. Because you could just imagine how large the scope of this influence is that even women in Africa are now even obsessed with whitening their skin. So isn't that just crazy?
Crazy
So
and
that's
sad
how-
at the same time, di ba, Miss Chrissy? That sometimes we are being forced to change what we have for us to, you know, at least be at par with the standards of beauty in the Philippines.
That's true. I think that we have to go back to our values and principles to really embrace what a Filipina is.
Mhm.
Because as you know, our representatives also in pageants doesn't really represent what a Filipina is, the Filipina characteristic is. That's why among like, the winners, the past winners in our, they are half ano bang tawag dito? They're half-bred Filipinos,
Mhm.
right? Because they have foreign fathers. So that's the thing. That's actually it's sad in a way, but
Mhm.
I cannot blame because like I can't blame anyone in the beauty pageant world because of the influence of the Western culture.
Isa yan, Miss Chrissy, sa mga criticisms talaga pagdating sa mga beauty pageants. Pero ano ba yung narinig mo mga criticisms about pageants na tingin mo ay kaya mong i-debunk or kaya mong ipagtanggol? Kasi marami talaga ngayong critics na sa mga pageants eh. Like, halimbawa, number one, yung standards of beauty. Number two, yung pagkakaroon ng mga mixed nationalities. Ano ba yung iba mga criticisms, Miss Chrissy, na tingin mo kaya mong mag-debunk?
Like for example, Sir Edward, I was very against the policy of the Miss Universe Philippines of late in this year's competition, that there wasn't a height requirement anymore. And I was just so surprised with that because, how could you ever stand out in a crowd where in international beauty pageant where the Latinas are towering like 6 feet tall? Talagang madaganan ka doon at matatabunan ka doon, hindi ka mapapansin. Sabi ko, bakit nila hinahayaan na baguhin ang standard? But they really did. They really did. So,
Pero Miss Chrissy, yung sagot mo na yun is very polarizing. And I think kung ito ay nasa TikTok, you saying
Yeah.
that you're actually
Yeah.
parang placing yourself in a point na talagang pwede kang mabash na parang bakit
That's
ayaw mo
true.
ng bagong idea ng beauty, di ba?
That's
So
true.
ano sagot mo sa kanila?
I am like the standards that I follow are those within the norms of what pageant should be. So it's okay to let the shorter girls join, but the potential of our contestant to ever win would really be very hard. Like for example, Miss Australia in Rabia's batch was really small, but she entered the top 20. But I think that really hindered her to advancing in the next phase because it was really very hard for a short girl to be noticed in an international beauty pageant. So that's the realities. And when I cited the norms, that also coincides with the realities of beauty pageants.
I think Miss Chrissy, one thing, one reason why I invited you is because you're very, very straightforward with your points and you are not afraid to say whatever you want to say kahit na alam mong mababash ka ng maraming tao.
That's not.
Kaya nga, I
that's
think
not-
itong height requirement na to, parang sa ibang mga tao ito ay parang hindi tama na, o tamang desisyon na wala ng height requirement. Pero galing sa iyo, you are not scared in expressing your thoughts.
we are talking about a beauty pageant which
Yeah,
has established standards for what is required to become, because you could just imagine like 50 years, like 5'5" is the minimum height that is required for
Ngayon po ba ilan na?
Binibining Pilipinas.
Ngayon
So,
po ilan po ba sa bagong mandate nila?
Ngayon tinanggal na nila. So there is no actual like height requirement for, there's no anyone can join actually.
Kasi po, Miss Chrissy, yung mga woke talaga, they would say that is a good thing na parang we are breaking the boundaries of the standards of beauty, di ba? Maraming mga ganyan. Pero so medyo controversial na naman ang point mo dito, Miss Chrissy. Malamang pag ito nasa YouTube to, maraming magko-comment sa mga statements mo. Ano pa, bukod sa height requirement ng pageants, ano pa yung criticism na madalas na nakukuha mo at pwede mo siyang i-debunk? Should we say, Miss Chrissy, yung mga perspective ng feminists na parang that pageants are objectification of women? What is your comment about that?
I don't believe in that feminist statement.
Ay, ano naman?
Yeah, I
Miss Chrissy, let me remind you po na this will be posted on YouTube. So,
it's okay. It's okay.
Sige po.
I'm very used to being criticized already with TikTok, I do not agree with how feminists view beauty pageants because this will advance further the capacities and the potentials of women being able to become people who become inspiration and become like people who could like set a good example to others that you can really do it, that your voice can be heard. And when you dedicate yourself to a certain advocacy, then you will be helped by this organization like Miss Universe, then you can do something for the community. Not only a small community, but actually it encompasses what you want to do worldwide. Because like the Miss Universe organization has a wide reach when it comes to its charity works and other things that they want to do and offer where they can help. So
Okay.
this would really provide women a platform for themselves.
Mhm. Ito pa, Miss Chrissy, one very controversial thing. How about I'm not so sure
Alam ko na,
if
alam ko
I'm
na.
brazen if I'm brazen enough to ask this. But how about your points in trans women joining beauty pageants for women?
Okay. I have been very vocal about my point of view, especially in TikTok. I am vehemently against trans women joining biological women's pageants, primarily because trans women are different from biological women. Trans women, okay, let's say
Miss Chrissy.
that let's say that a trans woman is fully operated. It still physically, it may have no difference. But a trans woman needs maintenance medications to maintain her femininity. And before becoming an operated trans woman, she needed interventions to correct her physical form. And there is no way that you could insinuate that it is fair when you put a biological woman side by side in competition for one crown, because it is not fair.
So, Miss
Because
Chrissy,
because they are different. You are gonna cross boundaries if you are gonna let trans women join biological women pageants. We have our own beauty pageants internationally if we want to join an international pageant. It's not fair, Sir Edward, especially when we cry out for fairness and equality as trans women, and then we invade biological women's pageant. How about when they are taken to the proposition where will they allow biological
biological
women
women.
to join trans pageants? So that's the same.
But I think, Miss Chrissy, the reason why you are saying this because you have this perspective that biological women are different from transgender women. Pero right now, as we all know, sa social media, sa TikTok, sa Facebook, sa YouTube, sa America, in the Western world, they would say that there is no difference, that biological women are real
I,
women. I mean,
I
trans
really,
women are real women.
I really beg to disagree. I totally disagree. That is not even a law. That is not even approved. That is not a consensus among every nation. Like for example, I could give you an example. Like for example, how can you tell that I am a trans? I am a woman. How could you consider me a woman? I am fully operated. I can't even change my name in my birth certificate. I cannot change my gender markers. So how could you ever consider us as women? Like for example, when you get sick, and then like if I'm a trans woman already, I cannot enjoy the benefits of being identified even as a woman. That would even cause like confusion in the hospital. So there's no way that we could ever agree that trans women are women. Trans women are trans women. That is how I see it. Because we were not born as women. We were born men, male. We transitioned to become woman. That makes us a trans woman, not woman. We cannot change. The term woman has been there since time immemorial. And we could not ever change that in encompassing other fields wherein that is the default of what is a woman is.
Actually, Miss Chrissy, I think meron isa pang taga-Ateneo din na nag-disagree sa'yo. Si Miss Rica po ata yun. And I think you were able to have a tirade sa TikTok ng mga sagutan nyo about
Yeah,
trans women and
yeah.
real women. So para sa inyo, Miss Chrissy, trans women are not women, not real
No,
women.
no, I do not consider. I do not. I would not.
Pero Miss Chrissy,
I have been arguing with that with her, and actually she blocked me because she doesn't like my point of view. But to think of it in a deeper level, it's very difficult to say that trans women are women when you are in a community, when you are in the community wherein you are in the grassroots level, to which I understand because I get to encounter everyday people. Like, for
Mhm.
example, Sir Edward, I'm going to cite to you this. When I came back as a clinical instructor in my work as a trans woman, I was warned by my supervisors that you cannot wear a skirt, that you cannot wear a cap. And I said, I would respect that
Mhm.
because I know how modest and how conservative the nursing profession here in the Philippines is. You can't just say that trans women are women because our society wouldn't accept that. You can just say that for yourself, but on how you would impact the society, it's not doable. It's not even doable in maybe two major lifetimes. So I just couldn't agree on that. And the very fact, Edward, that Rika would say, I mean, she would say that trans women are women. How could you ever consider trans women as women if they have penises and testicles? That's that's nonsense. That doesn't make sense to me. When they're in fact fully functional and everything, so it doesn't make sense to me.
Mhm. Okay.
Sir
Okay, Miss
Edward,
Chrissy.
Sir
I
Edward,
think siguro Miss Chrissy, let us now go to the second part of our discussion, yung sa social media platforms, since we're talking about Rika and we're talking about your interaction with her. Nung ginawa mo yan, I think talagang mix talaga yung yung reaction sa video mo na yun eh. Ano naramdaman mo nung marami nang umaatake sa mga ideas mo sa TikTok?
um, I wasn't really bothered about it because it's a matter of how sure I was with how my logic went with my convictions. That is how I saw it. And as you can, if you would review the comments of the people who agree with my point of view, it's just what the I think the majority would, especially,
Miss Chrissy,
especially the
hindi po namin kayo
yes,
madinig.
yes.
Yung pong atang may tunog po ata sa fan. Hindi po namin kayo madinig ng mas
Okay.
malinaw.
Okay. Okay. How about now?
Ayan po.
Okay.
So you were saying po, Miss Chrissy?
As I was saying, if you would read through the comments in that thread of that video where I was against considering trans women as women, there were so many people who appreciated that. And they were happy that someone from my community had the balls, na sabi niya, had the guts, had the
Metaphorically.
balls to say,
Metaphorically, Miss
yes,
Chrissy.
yes. And it really hit them hard because, like, coming from me, who is opposed of trans woman, I think would significantly impact on what they are saying. Because, Sir Edward, there is no rule that would, or a law that would say, like, they could just say that trans women are women, but where are they coming from? We can't even pass the SOGI bill. It doesn't even include that. So why would you insist on pointing out that trans women are women, where in fact there are so many questions or doubts regarding that statement? So that is just how I see it.
And I think, Miss Chrissy, tingin ko yung mga pumapayag o pumapanig sa side mo, I think these are the persons who are so scared to say something, primarily because hindi naman sila trans women, halimbawa. Kumbaga, takot sila magsalita, especially nowadays that even though we have freedom of speech, when you go against the woke
Yes.
crowd, most likely
Yes.
you'll be canceled. Most likely, people would turn on you. People would call you misogynist or
Yes.
those
Or
bad words,
homophobic
or
or
homophobic or
transphobic.
transphobic,
Yes.
for just
Yes.
for just
Definitely.
expressing your views. Na ngayon, ang landscape natin, maybe probably because of the power of social media, na parang maraming takot. Ironically, di ba? Since we have a lot of social media platforms for us to express ourselves, marami nang takot magsalita tungkol sa issue na to. And I think marami sa mga naniniwala sa'yo o pumapanig sa'yo sa TikTok ay may ganung sentiments. At least somebody who is actually a trans woman is saying things about this.
Definitely. Definitely. And they would always like tell me na, buti ka pa. You don't take things negatively. Like I would say I wouldn't discriminate like my other co-creators in TikTok. Sabi ko sa kanila, we all have different personalities and different backgrounds. So I could not speak for them when it comes to the manner how they handle the questions and everything that comes to them.
Pero mas kasi okay ba na magtanong pa ako deeper do sa about sa work mo when you return to your work as a trans woman? And then
Sure.
you chose still to abide by the rules of the company. Kasi I think that is a
Yeah.
fresh perspective nowadays. Kasi kung tingin ko kung sa iba yan gagawin, what they would do is go to Twitter or to Facebook or to TikTok and expose this apparently discriminatory aspect of what happened. Pero ikaw, you abided by it. Bakit, Miss Chrissy? Anong naisip mo during that time?
Because primarily, I am not a woman nga. I am a trans woman. So, we have a high level of nursing ethics that we follow.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like we interact with patients. And you could just imagine if you would conduct yourselves in a way that is not actually how people would see it normal, as much as I would want to consider it normal, but the society is just not ready. This is just like in comparison that trans women cannot teach in the elementary and high school levels.
Hindi po ba pwede,
They are
Miss
not.
Chrissy?
They are not allowed, Sir Edward.
Okay.
You are not allowed. You are supposed to wear the polo and pants still, whatever your orientation is. So you cannot really. That's where I'm coming from. We should know how to put ourselves in society because society is not yet ready. Society is not yet ready.
Napaka-fresh ng perspective na yan, Miss Chrissy. Kasi take ko ngayon talaga, kung sa iba nangyari sa'yo, they would really be on social media platforms exposing these types of treatment na parang dapat hindi ganito o hindi ganyan. Ayan.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Pero Miss Chrissy, let's go to TikTok. Do you think
Yeah.
social media platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, ito ba ay nakabuti para sa mga advocacies ng mga trans women or trans men sa panahon ngayon? Kasi ang background po ng tanong ko is ganito. Years and years ago, na wala pang social media, tingin ko hindi pa ganun ka-open ang isip ng mga Filipino in terms of different gender orientations. Pero ngayon na meron ng Facebook, meron ng YouTube, marami na mga platforms, mas nagiging bukas sa ating pag-iisip dito. So my question is, nakatulong ba sa inyo para ma-advocate yung gusto nyo i-advocate ang social media?
I think so, because we are more visible. You know, we are heard. So I think that has really helped the community. Because people will understand where we are coming from.
Mm-hmm.
So I make it a point in my platform also, Sir Edward, that I be set a good example or a good representative of how to conduct yourself as a trans woman. There is actually no school or training institution that would train someone transitioning from being a man to become a woman. So there's really no specific like path that you would follow, but you have to learn it by yourself. So conducting myself in whether in society or in public is a self-made study wherein I studied myself for the appropriateness of everything that I do. My words, my actions, my gestures, my voice, my manner of dressing. So these things form part of what I portray to become a woman who is immersed in the society.
Mhm. And I think, Ms. Chris, forgive my vulgarity. Do you think, sorry po, okay na po ba?
It's okay.
Do you think your age or the generation that you are born in would play a great part in this perspective of yours?
Oh, of course, I think so. My influence is very conservative, especially growing up in a province. Although I am educated in the Ateneo, the Davao University, our values and our principles are mainly very conservative also. Being a Catholic and having a Jesuit training and education and background, I think that would also define, has a big impact on who I am. And, I could have changed physically, but my values and my principles on who I am as a person is still intact. That's why of course, I will base everything in my decisions, my thinking, my logic would be based on who I was before I transitioned. Because it's just like embracing a new being with being someone who I was before. So it's like
But
incorporating.
fundamentally, it's still the same you, right? But with a
Yes,
different.
of course. Yes, of
Ganun.
course. It doesn't really like it was me all I mean, like mentally ako pa rin yun. Meron siyang changes syempre, pero in the basic thing, ako pa rin to. Yung dating ako, 'di ba? Pero of course I need to adapt because of my presentation and my body also. So I need to adapt. Yeah. But
And
my values, my core principles never change.
Doon pa
My
rin.
religion and my beliefs, of course.
Okay. So, Miss Chrissy, since you said that TikTok is really of great use in your advocacies, tingin mo, Miss Chrissy, ano ang future ng TikTok bilang a TikTok creator yourself? 'Di ba? Na mayroong maraming followers. Tingin mo anong direksyon na pinupuntahan ng app na ito? Do you think it would last? Do you think it would be it would not last that long? What do you think, Miss Chrissy? Anong future
As
ng
for the
TikTok?
yeah, as for the moment, I think it will go on for some time, because it's an easy way of how the young generation are able to express and share themselves in the social media platform. So this is one, that's why like many people enjoy being in TikTok rather than in YouTube, where it's like highly technical and there are so many stuff you need to do to be able to upload a video. Unlike TikTok, you just need a phone and a simple phone, even a cheap phone, then you can upload videos. I do believe that applications have lifespans, but it also depends. Just like how Friendster ended, it ended. But if you're gonna compare with it, Facebook, which came after Friendster, it has been very useful because it also developed many features to which we can all use in our everyday lives.
So
So
nag-evolve, Miss Chrissy.
yes, definitely. So I think if TikTok wants to last for long, I think they should evolve, and I think they're doing it also. Like they're making it, they're allowing content creators to make longer videos. Like it used to be like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and then now comes the
3
the
minutes.
5 minutes.
Meron ng
It's
5 minutes?
It's 5 minutes now, and then of course the live streams are incorporated, and there are so many other things that they could do to make the people like be into it. So I think it could, but as long as they can adapt and evolve with the change in time, with the changes in time.
Miss Chrissy, 1 to 10, tingin mo gaano ka, 10 being the highest, gaano katindi ang epekto ng TikTok sa Philippine pop culture today? And why?
I think it's like 8.5
Mataas,
because
Miss Chrissy, ah. Mataas ang
yes, yes,
8.5.
I think it has really like changed the landscape when it comes to pop culture because of its accessibility. I think that is the strength of TikTok, the accessibility, and everybody has an Android phone. It encompasses all economic stratas, like the lower, middle, and upper class. Everybody has a smartphone, an Android phone. So this could really be the strength, and it could influence and impact the pop culture because of this, the accessibility.
Mhm. Okay, Miss Chrissy, maraming salamat. At ngayon, i-open ko. Okay lang po ba, Miss Chrissy, magtanong yung mga bata sa'yo? Okay
Yeah,
lang? Okay,
sure.
so class, you have two ways of asking your questions to our guest for this afternoon. You may type it on our chat box or you may raise your hand and unmute yourselves. Come on, let us take this chance. Do you have any question? And Miss Chrissy would be very happy and would be very bold and brazen to answer all of your queries. Meron bang tanong? Miss Chrissy, mukhang nahihiya ang mga estudyante. Huwag kayong mahiya. Sayang ang chance natin. Alas lang to.
Yeah,
Meron kayo mga tanong? Type nyo lang sa chat box kung nahihiya kayo mag-open ng mic. But I would appreciate it kung mag-open kayo ng mic at para makausap nyo naman si Miss Chrissy ng talagang live.
Especially in your course, I encourage you to be very interactive. You should have confidence, because that is one important part of how you should present yourselves. Like people would ask me on my strengths on public speaking, and Sir Edward, I would always say that my education really prepared me for public speaking because one way or the other, you may be tagged really to talk, whether in a small group or a big group. So you should be prepared all the time,
Okay. So meron ba mga tanong dyan, class?
Nahihiya yata sila.
Baka nahihiya sila. Baka po nagpe-process pa, Miss Chrissy, kasi what you were able to tell us are really controversial ideas na I think for the younger ones, they would find this hard to swallow. So, ayan, meron po. There's a question. I'm gonna read it. My question would be on her conservatism. Ayan, Miss Chrissy, ito po ang tanong niya. I understand that you are a conservative, pero what are your thoughts on the closeted people that are being hurt by being conservative, like in a conservative household or being in a conservative society?
Ano yung question, Sir Edward? Ang lalim, ano yun?
What would be what are your thoughts on the closeted people, yung pong di pa makapag-out na mga kababayan natin that are being hurt by being conservative? Yung mga takot po kasi conservative ang ating pananaw, conservative ang ating bansa. So ano lang po ang pananaw niyo tungkol doon?
Are you implying like gay people who cannot come out? Yun bang tanong niya?
Yes, because of the conservative upbringing of most of us in the Philippines. Ayan.
Okay.
Ano po ang nasabi niyo tungkol doon?
There are so many. I am frequently being asked about this and the issue of how to come out, and it is always like you have to weigh with several factors to be able to express yourself freely. And I would always say that to them, Sir Edward, that actually you have to follow who you are. I mean, I could never live my life without following my truth. Maybe I am just lucky that I was accepted by my parents to be who I was, even when I was young. And I know it could be hard for many to be able to express themselves, but we should all live our truth. We should all live our truth. I think no one wants to be imprisoned in a place that is not hers. I mean, to not be able to express yourself freely. And I know like many of them choose not to express themselves because they are afraid of being judged, because they are afraid of being bullied, because they are afraid of being like mabastos in public. That is what I heard from some people. But ultimately you have to make a choice because this is going to be your life. And your family may not be supportive of you. But as of the moment, I think you just follow them and live your life after that. You study, you find a job, and then you express yourself who you are. It's just a matter of weighing, like, what is more important to you? Is it your self-expression? Or is it what your family or society would dictate? So it's going to be like that. It's going to be a choice, and it's going to be a tough choice for many. It's going to be a tough choice for many.
Kumbaga, Miss Chrissy, something's gotta give. Hindi naman pwede lang i-offer lang lahat sa atin ng all bright and sunny. Talagang may mga consequences ang ating mga actions. Should we choose to do this, then we have to face whatever consequences there might be.
Yes, that's very true.
And I think, Miss Chrissy, isa pa sa tanong niya dito yung parang yung mga nasa closet. I think, sa akin, ang pananaw ko, hindi naman kailangan nilang mag-come out. Kumbaga, publicly or kasi parang ngayon, iba yung konsepto ng coming out na parang magladlad ka na. Di ba yung mga ganong ideas, Miss Chrissy, na parang napaka-archaic na magladlad ka na, umaming ka na, and those things. Parang sa akin, no, you don't need to make it a public spectacle. Na you can be yourself and without focusing much on your orientation and be the person that you want to be. Lalo na ngayon, Miss Chrissy, na parang talagang napakagaan ng buhay compared years and years back na iba talaga ang pananaw sa LGBTQ community. So tingin ko ngayon, I know we can work more on this, pero improvement-wise, malaki na ng improvement ngayon, Miss Chrissy. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would agree on that. I mean, like the parents in this generation, when they see their young child, being gay, like they wouldn't want to like punish it like the way the last generations did. Yeah, but they should be guided also, that they should not also tolerate like behaviors that are inappropriate also to do for young generation of like gay people or something like that. So that's very important also. They should guide them properly as long as they are guided. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks sa question mo. Meron ba iba mga tanong dyan? Meron ba bang questions from my creative writing students? Somebody? Yes, Joanna. Joanna? She raised her hand.
Good afternoon.
Magandang hapon.
Hello. Can she be seen? No.
Hindi po ata.
Okay.
Joanna?
Yeah, all right.
So for my question lang po, I am not a part of the LGBT plus community, but of course I'm willing to learn so to better understand. I'm just having a bit of a confusion. Most of the time, what I see po, the LGBT community, especially the trans, is that the trans should be considered as women. But since you mentioned po na the trans women are women, I just wanted to clear up po, like, does it mean po that trans women are different from women? Like,
yeah, I get your point.
Like, how are we supposed to look at it po? Ba't siya talaga?
Okay, it's like this. This is just how I understand, and this is just my point of view. I do not say that this should be the one that is to be followed by the society, but I also disagree when those advocates would tell you outright that trans women are women, because I do not agree with that also. So if you are, what I am trying to distinguish here is, you cannot consider a trans woman as a woman because we were born male and we transitioned to become a woman. That makes us a trans woman. So we are not women, because a woman has different traits from a trans woman. A woman can bear children. A woman has menstruation. A woman can marry a man, which those doesn't encompass what a trans woman is. So it's really, now I am a bit surprised of how your preconceived thoughts of accepting. So didn't it ever cross your minds as young students that you did not question when So I want to question you also, like ask you also. So before I was able to share to you what I know and what I believe in, you believe that trans women are women? That's my question to you. How do you perceive this thought?
But I
Is
think,
it
Miss Chrissy, most of us would really find it hard to be outrightly honest about our answers because of the current climate of gender talks nowadays. That, you know,
yeah,
if we would have a different perspective with the majority, then we'll be branded as somebody who is against against trans women rights. Pero I think, Miss Chrissy, ang point dito is that tingin ko, let us not mistake it na parang pag hindi mo sinabing real women and trans women, that trans women are any less than real women. Sa tingin ko yun yung problema dun na kaya ayaw sabihin ng iba na hindi totoong babae yung trans women because they have this notion na pag hindi sila totoong babae, they're lesser of a person compared to real women, which is not true. I think we are all equal, may it be being a real
yeah.
woman, a real man, or a trans woman. We should deserve to have the same rights. Di ba, Miss Chrissy?
Yes, that's true, but it's going to be a long journey, Sir Edward, for trans women to be ever recognized as women.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
Mhm.
And that wouldn't, like for example, if the Philippines has the SOGI bill, it doesn't even include that in a bill that it would register a trans woman as a woman, because like it has never happened. Like for example, in Thailand, it's a hub of for trans women. They are not considered women there. They are trans women also. It doesn't mean that they are women. None in the world has ever. I know in the States that there are states that would do that, but still, there are so many things that should be settled when it comes to the definition of what truly belongs in the category of what a woman is. Because I could just not agree with trans women being women with testicles, and I don't know, just
Okay.
that's the logic there that I want to be heard. And Sir Edward, I know that it's very hard for us to come up with one voice because of these opposing views.
Mhm.
Because you should remember, Sir Edward, that we who are older are still participants in the society.
Yeah, we're still part of the society.
Yes, we are part of the society, and we who have been in their shoes, of course, need to contribute, and we can valuably contribute to what is right and what is true. So that is what I want to question about them pushing the rhetoric of trans women being women, because it's you can just say it per se from your own point of view, but try to live it in the society. It's not doable at all.
Okay,
That's
Miss Chrissy,
not
one more
doable at all.
question.
Okay.
Kayla, you raise your hand, Kayla. Kayla.
Hello po.
Hi, good
Yung po
afternoon,
nasagot
Kayla.
na ni Sir kanina. Kasi, parang gusto ko lang po kasi linawin. Nabanggit niyo po kasi kanina, Miss Chrissy, na yung naging basis niyo po para hindi matawag as women po yung trans women is hindi po sa nakaanak, hindi po sa nagkakamens po. Tama po ba?
Yeah.
Pero,
The biological imprint of every person is the physical being of a person.
pero po, di ba may mga women din po na hindi po nakaanak at hindi po sila nakapag-mens po?
Yeah, but that doesn't do not. This is like my idea. Okay, there is no comparison because their genetics are real women. So what's the issue of them comparing with a trans woman? There's no issue there. They are women, and it doesn't. There's no comparison between the two. If you justify it like comparing a trans woman from a woman who could not give birth. The question and the principle that I am dragging at is the genetic makeup, the physical makeup is not of a man. I mean, it's not of a woman. So it makes it different from being a woman. The mind is different. The mindset or thinking that you are a woman is different in comparison to where you are as a physical being. And where is the foundation of a person? And what is the foundation of a person but a physical being? It's something like what we think or our perception is different from what is the reality. That is my
Pero Miss
thinking,
Chrissy, I think
and that is my opinion.
meron akong follow-up sa tanong ni Kyla.
Yeah,
Pero
sure.
would it hurt po ba, Miss Chrissy, for us to just accept would it hurt the real women if we would just accept trans women as women? Would there be a difference kung hayaan lang natin na i-claim nila or i-claim ng trans women, ng trans community that they are real women? Is there any harm?
I cannot. Oh, I mean, I cannot answer. I cannot answer that because I am not a biological woman. But basing on like opinions of other women, like women, like for example, beauty queens voicing out their being against trans women joining the Miss Universe. I would want to say it because these are real women, and even trans women are also. I don't know if you know this, but even trans women who are beauty queens, like Kevin Balot, like Lars Pacheco, like Matt Centeno, they are against trans women joining the Miss Universe pageant. And the more like Miss Universe of 2000, Gabriela, I don't know what year Gabriela Isler is, Miss Venezuela. She said popular doesn't mean to be like it should be followed, like when trans women are allowed to enter. So this is not only coming from me, because it feels like I feel like now when we are interacting, it's like it just comes from me, and in my opinion, it's not. It's actually a sentiment of many people. That's why when you said that, like many people are afraid to speak, but these people have spoken. I spoken because this is how I view things, and I see that the logic. Because nga, Sir Edward, kaya nga, balik tayo doon sa shinare ko sa'yo. Like kahit na maging babae pa ako, or anything, I have changed, and babae na nga ako eh. I cannot fully function as a woman in society. It has limitations. This is the key word there, actually. Being a trans woman has limitations. You cannot embrace fully being a woman because it is not accepted by society. As of this moment, it could change in the future generation. It could. But as of the moment to which I am living and how I see people with my interactions, it will not change for many more years and decades to come. And that's the reality of it. And I'm talking about how reality works from the real world. Ito yung sinasabi ko, you cannot further advance anything without knowing what is happening in the grassroots or what is happening in the real world.
Reality.
It's very easy to say and claim that trans women are women. Where in that level there, in your own level? But what about what's happening in down? It's not going to be like that. So yun.
So yun, actually, Miss Chrissy, tingin ko na-achieve ko naman ang aking reason by inviting you for having a different perspective of somebody who is not scared of expressing her thoughts about certain things. So again, maraming salamat for joining our class today. I am sure na talagang hanggang ngayon nag-iisip pa rin ang mga estudyante ko sa mga bagay-bagay, which I think for me is a very important thing kasi I believe in the power of diversity of ideas and thoughts. Ang gusto ko, I would not want to teach them what to think, but how to think based on the information that they were able to receive in every class that we have. So Miss Chrissy, maraming salamat for your vital input sa aming klase, at sana next time ulit pumayag ka maging part ng class namin.
Alright, thank you, sir.
Any parting
It was a
words
pleasure.
para sa mga estudyante ko, Miss Chrissy?
Yes. I would like to share this to everyone, to the class. You know, if you have a dream, you should always um, believe in that dream. And you also have to have that honest assessment if you are capable of um, getting or achieving that dream. Like, for example, if you want to dream to become a singer, but you do not have a good voice, then don't do that. But if you have a dream, hold on to that. And you should be prepared all the time to get that, because you will never know when the opportunity comes. And always believe in that. Just like what I want to share this with them, because, like, for example, ever since I was a child, I really wanted to become an actress. And I did not know that it will ever be achievable, because until I transitioned, that opportunity came, and that happened in my social media platform. And I built myself towards that dream, which I never gave up. I was prepared to take on that when the opportunity happened. And one day I was doing my live stream, a producer talked to me, and he asked me if I wanted to do a movie, and I said yes. This was the opportunity that I was waiting for, and I was ready for that moment. That's why you should always be ready for your moment, because that moment may come in any time. So that's what I want to share to them.
Miss Chrissy, where can we find you? You may now plug your social media
Yes,
accounts.
I'd like to invite your students to please watch my projects in YouTube. So I have a short film in YouTube. It's entitled Transsexual, An Official Secret. It's directed by director Mardy Planas, and it's with Mel Martinez. And I also appeared in a boy love series named Why Love Why. So it's directed by Vince Tanyada, and I am in season 2, series 4, 5, and 6. So I'm the special guest there. My TikTok account, please follow me on TikTok. Chrissy Olerum. So that's who I am in this. I mean in TikTok. So please follow me there. Okay, thank you
Miss
very
Chrissy,
much, Sir
maraming
Edward.
salamat.
It was a great pleasure, and I hope I was able to impart a part of me to your students, because it will, like for example, the last part, I am very passionate about sharing my thoughts and views and opinions to the next generations, because, like, I don't have any offsprings and I don't have children. I think the best that I could offer myself is to leave a legacy to which someone can get a point of view from or knowledge from. So thank you very much, Edward.
Miss
And the
Chrissy,
students,
next
bye.
time po uli, Miss
All
Chrissy.
right.
O mga kaibigan,
Bye-bye. Thank
mag-thank you
you.
naman tayo kay Miss Chrissy. Mag-thank you naman tayo sa kanya sa ating chat box, or you may unmute yourselves and say thank you to our guest for today. Ayan, magpasalamat naman tayo. Pa-heart
Thank
naman
you
tayo
po.
dyan.
Thank you
Ayan.
Thank you
po.
po. Thank you
You're
po.
welcome. See you. Bye.
Bye everybody. Now, my dear friends.